Pisces, welcome to your reading for the lunar eclipse in Gemini, which happens on the 30th of November 2020. So I have to tell you that I recorded a whole forecast for you, which was really positive, and then I realized that I had put the sun and the moon in the wrong houses. So I'm redoing this, but hopefully we'll get some of the similar messages coming through. So in many respects, this reading is looking specifically at the 2 weeks of the lunar eclipse, which is kind of closing out a cycle for 2021. It's also probably got links to the, that June lunar eclipse that we had in Sagittarius, kind of the twin to this one. So it could be that you are finishing up, closing out, or getting answers about situations or dilemmas that cropped up then and that you haven't really been able to kind of make peace with. So let's see what comes out in the reading. But first things first, let's put the sun and the moon in the correct houses. So with Pisces rising, this means that you have the sun in Sagittarius in your 10th house. So this is where the sun will be at this full moon lunar eclipse. And let's put that down there so we can see it. And then the moon in Gemini will be down here in your 4th house of home, family and roots. So this is the axis that we're working with during this eclipse. This is astrologically speaking the MCIT axis, which is all about roots, and then of course the branches. So this is, we sort of start out in life putting down our roots through what we learn in our youth, and then hopefully this blossoms into something beautiful and magnificent career-wise, in terms of the future. So we also have Mercury, which rules Gemini. Mercury will be making a sextile to Saturn at this eclipse. So Mercury currently in the sign of Scorpio, which is here in your 3rd house. Let me think. No, that was Virgo. I'm getting very mixed up. So Virgo here for you, so it's your 9th house. Here we go. So 9th house of beliefs and higher education, foreign contacts or travel, as well as legal matters. So it could be that you're getting messages, through the dream space. You could be getting signs or omens through, but equally it could be that you are realizing certain things about your beliefs. Now, as I said, Mercury will be making a sextile, which is a positive aspect to Saturn. Saturn's currently in Capricorn, so that'll be in your 11th house of friends and groups, so networking. So equally, this could be networking with an organization that potentially, has foreign connections. It could be overseas, could be based overseas, or it could be supporting a cause, that's in a foreign country kind of thing, like the UN or Medicine Sans Frontiers, something like that. Equally, it could be about forming friendships, so soul tribe connections with people that we feel that we share the same beliefs with. So that's positive. And then your ruler Neptune is going direct on the 29th of November, so literally the day before this eclipse, which is good news. And I certainly think you're going to find that as Neptune gains speed, that you'll feel a lot less confused or kind of apathetic, sort of stuck. Now, Neptune is going to be making a T-squared to the nodes, which are also in the signs of Sagittarius and Gemini. And this, in many ways, mirrors that full moon lunar eclipse that we had back in June, that Sagittarius eclipse. So this time, of course, though, the sun and the moon are in the opposite positions. So in a way, this is kind of the resolution to whatever cropped up then. Now, at the time, the Mars at that point was with Neptune, so it could have something to do with somebody who kind of does a bit of stirring. It could have been a situation that kind of went from misunderstanding to arguments and conflict, but equally it could just simply be about internal conflict on some level, feeling conflicted about something, particularly to do with knowledge and beliefs. And of course, a lot of people have gone through a huge process of learning and unlearning, awakening, that kind of thing. So it more than likely, you wouldn't be alone if that was what was happening to you. And then finally, Chiron, which is retrograde in Aries, will be making some very positive aspects to the moon and the sun. So this offers opportunities for healings, particularly to do with past matters. So these are likely to have a connection to either self-worth or to finances. So opportunities here for reparations and restorations. So lots of good things happening at this lunar eclipse. But let's find out more with the Geomancy cards. We can get a little bit more detail, and of course I will clarify with the trinkets from the Magpie Oracle. The other thing that I also feel I need to mention is that I do this forecast as if Pisces was rising. So if you are a sun sign Pisces but you have a different ascendant, I recommend watching the video for that, because then the house positions will be more correct. But anyway, let's get into your reading and see what wants to come through. Okay, let's find out what's going on. So I'm going to start with the planets themselves, so that the Geomancy figures can clarify the planets. So first of all, that full moon, oh, fantastic. So for the full moon in Gemini, we've actually got Albus, which is the Mercury in Gemini. So I think just emphasizing the fact that this is a kind of a reset for you in many respects. And obviously the opportunity to turn the page, to begin fresh, and sometimes in order to do that, we've got to let go of a few things. So definitely an opportunity to press the reset button when it comes to home, family, and roots. Now this could mean a relocation, a house move, maybe purchasing a house, because Albus, is also papers. For me, this is literally white. It could also be just making a decision, because we are talking about the element of air. So this is negotiations, contract negotiations, but also decisions, logical decisions. Albus is really about logic in many respects. Could also be maybe having discussions with certain family members in order to make important decisions. Okay. This is very interesting. So the sun, which will be, in the position of the midheaven, is clarified here by Via. Now Via for me is, first of all, it's the water element, so it's about flow. It's literally the road, so it's about forward movement, momentum. And I think what you're being asked to do in many ways is to really reset your focus away from the past towards the future, because things are going to be moving forward. That's what you're being pointed towards, is to orient towards the future, I think. Via can sometimes mean travel, and this could emphasize what I was saying about a possible relocation or a move. But again, we will clarify with the trinkets. Alright, let's look next at Mercury. Yes, definitely. So puer here is the boy, literally, and it often has to do with new beginnings, or again forward momentum. Mars is very much the planet of go, go, go. It's motivation, and sometimes it's about new beginnings. So being kind of go-getting, and given that it is in the ninth house, again, it could point to a relocation, possibly setting your sights on moving overseas. That could be one interpretation. It could also be about making progress when it comes to initiating, for example, a legal proceeding, maybe deciding to move into the realm of teaching. That's another possibility. But it's it's kind of very much, again, future focused, and it can sometimes be a little bit competitive, or indicate where we are in conflict with others, and again, lawsuits may be you know, potentially relevant, but again we will clarify with the trinkets. But my overall feeling though with Via here in your 10th house is that it's more to do with purpose, focus and drive. So getting the momentum necessary to move forward, which I think is helped by the fact that Mars is now direct, and when, you know, it kind of went direct mid-November. So by the time we get to the end of November, when this eclipse occurs, Mars will be moving forward quite nicely. It will have gained speed, and that should help you to make progress when it comes to you know, mercurial matters, so making decisions. Let's look at Saturn. Yeah, interesting. So conjuncture together with Saturn in your 11th house for me talks of alliances with others, so coming together, forming alliances with groups, certain people like friends or professional associates, in order to achieve something. You know, if we think about this Mercury-Saturn sextile, you can definitely achieve more with others than you can separately. That's the very clear message here. So I think it's a case of choosing your teammates wisely, you know, looking for people who have got a lot of experience with Saturn here, individuals who you are kind of they've mastered whatever it is that they do for a living, and are very reliable as well. That's the other thing I would say. Right, let's look at Neptune. Okay, so it seems as though whatever potentially Neptune represents in terms of that T-square has to do with some kind of passion, fixation, possibly something that you're feeling a little bit annoyed about. Again, we will clarify with trinkets. Rubeus is literally red, so it can mean, you know, moving forward with gusto and a sense of passion and purpose, which is great. It can also, as I say, mean getting a little bit stuck on the past, you know, brooding a little bit. But again, we'll find out more. Yes, so here with Chiron in your 2nd house of earned income, I do feel as though this this eclipse has the opportunity to help to restore something that was lost, because Amicio is the qualifying card here for Chiron, which is all about healing, and Amicio for me is very much about missed opportunities, a sense of things passing you by, or sometimes it could be about material loss. So, you know, it could be that you lost out financially on something, could be what you are not too happy about, which could potentially lead to, you know, conflicts and legal, like lawsuits and that kind of thing. So let's find out more by looking at your 8th house. Okay, yeah, so there may well have been some joint venture that you are a little bit disappointed about with Tristia here in your 8th house. This is the house of shared resources and joint ventures. So it could be that you feel disappointed that you lost out on either a deal, maybe a legacy and inheritance. Maybe you feel like you were shortchanged when it came to a business deal or a divorce settlement, for example. Let's look at the 7th house. Yes. So I do feel as though potentially this Rubeus being repeated here has to do with some kind of conflict, either a divorce, breakup, or some kind of legal dispute that involves a contract with a business partner, and that's why we've got this sense of disappointment and sorrow here, and also possibly a lawsuit, legal action of some kind, and of course lost money, lost assets. So Albus here, you know, this could be why you're kind of wanting to move on. It could also be about things like what do you call it, custody arrangements for children that you could be in negotiations about, or it could literally be about having to sell the family home and split the assets. But you know, my feeling predominantly though is it's about some kind of move, a relocation of some type. Okay, this is a lot more positive. So when it comes to work and health, things are definitely on the up. Fortuna Major here is fire, the fire element, so this is very, very positive, optimistic energy, newfound sense of confidence and well-being, in terms of work and health. Fortuna Major is probably you know, one of the most auspicious of the geomantic figures. So I really feel as though, you know, if you've lost out on earnings or money in the past, that new work opportunities will more than make up for that. So that's brilliant. Let's look at the 5th house. Okay, so here in the 5th house, we're ending a cycle. This could have something again to do with children. So if you are maybe getting divorced, it's possibly the end of a long and arduous process of negotiation, perhaps around custody. But equally, it could be sort of getting closure around a love interest, or possibly, you know, an outstanding matter to do with holidays, creativity, hobbies, an arts project, or potentially a lover, you know, somebody that you you've kind of either started a new relationship with, or that you started a relationship with and it wasn't really going anywhere, and you're deciding to sort of let it go. Alright, this is fabulous. So Fortuna Minor in your 3rd house of self-expression. So for me, this is also very, very positive. It's a kind of change of mindset, fortunate circumstances, seeing the bright side, literally. So even if you have had a difficult time in certain sort of areas of your life, I do see you seeing the bright side, and I think that's really going to help you to move forward. It could also be about a surprising message coming in for you at this lunar eclipse, because of course, you know, Mercury's active, and there's always the possibility of communication coming in, you know, maybe from a friend, and this could be pleasant news that you know, pleased about, you know, changing things for the better kind of thing. Alright, and then finally for your 12th house, we have populace. So in some respects, in terms of your psyche, you really, I think, maybe either tuning into the collective zeitgeist, which could be, you know, also why you may have struggled a little bit, you know, kind of emotionally, because possibly you were picking up on the energy of those around you, including family members. But equally, I think this could be about, you know, kind of seeing things from a kind of communal perspective, from getting the big picture, and realizing that, you know, certain things may have happened, but, you know, you're not alone in that. There are other people that you can share your experiences with, and this could be why we've got conjunctio here in your 11th house. So it could be that by sharing your experiences, by talking to others, maybe in group situations, that it really proves to be very illuminating and healing for you psychologically. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, groups like AA, for example, where, you know, people go and kind of get things off their chest that they know will be shedding confidence, that people won't repeat anything to anybody else, but at the same time there's this sense of camaraderie that you get from group therapy that you don't really get one-on-one, you know, so that could be relevant there. Alright, let's pull some trinkets for you. Okay, yeah, so when it comes to the sun, I do feel as though it indicates forward movement after a period of blocks or delays. So overcoming obstacles and moving forward. Yes, definitely. The snake here for me, kind of almost reiterating this idea of a long and drawn out process that may have been a bit painful, but you know, things are now sort of resetting. So this is a real opportunity, I think, to clear out the clutter and you know, move forward with resolution. Right, let's look at Puer. Yes, so positive shifts, particularly when it comes to your beliefs, and of course in legal matters, as well as you know, foreign relations and group dynamics, given the connection here with Saturn. Something seems to be stuck. So yes, we've got the lily here, which I think points to Saturn, you know, this kind of wise energy. So I think teaming up with somebody who is a lot wiser, maybe a little bit older, who's got more experience, will be really, really beneficial for you, I feel. It could be, you know, wise counsel, you know, perhaps that will help you to get back what you feel is owed to you. Yeah, because it does look to me as though with Rubeus here in your 7th house that you have had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of difficulties with one other person. It's been a bit of a burden. Right, let's look at Amicio. Definitely. So a change in luck, that's what I feel. Healing coming in for you. So even if you've lost out in the past, don't worry. Things are changing. Your luck is moving in a much more positive direction. Okay, and then finally one for Rubeus in your 1st house. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So there you are, Pisces, the fish. And what I feel that this is saying is, don't worry, you will get what is rightfully yours. Just go with the flow, allow things to unfold as they are meant to, trust in the process, and ultimately things will work out for the best. But let's see what your final outcome cards are. Yes. Beautiful. Nice. Yes, so very much see this as being a chance to start a new cycle. So you're literally letting go of the past. I think spend the 2 weeks of the waning moon cycle really letting go of anything that's holding you back, because when we come to that solar eclipse in mid-December, that's going to bring in a brand new cycle for you, fresh starts, ones that are going to bring you into much more harmonious relationships with other people. I think a period of harmony and you know, of a lot more flow in your life, and Puer as your outcome, I think talking about forward movement and momentum. So really kind of asking you to set your sights on the future and, you know, on the path ahead, because things are looking bright. Alright, let's just clarify those with some trinkets. Yes, it's been a long, slow process, Pisces, but you are going to get there in the end. This also tells me that you know, if you've had a few health problems, don't worry. You know, things are on the up now, especially with Fortuna Major here in your 6th house. Yes. So when it comes to improvements in relationships with others, I think the key here is to let go of worries, because for me the mice is literally what is eating you up. It can also be, you know, we've got Rubeus twice, so that can be, as I say, brooding over something. So really being asked to let that go so that you can come into a much more harmonious place inside, and then that tends to be reflected back to us in the way that others react to us. Wonderful. So yes, moving forward, we've got the ship here. So again, this can point to forward movement overseas. It could be about a relocation, but definitely moving forward, your ship is sailing. If we think about it in relation to the fish here, a lot of metaphors around flow and, you know, just letting things move on, not getting stuck in one place, and that will take you into a much more exciting and prosperous and happy period in your life. You know, the auspices for the upcoming solar eclipse are really, really positive. So lots to look forward to in 2021, and do bear in mind that that solar eclipse is going to start a new 6-month cycle, which will take us into the first half of 2021. So I think definitely, you know, time to let go of past difficulties, past tragedies and sorrows, really refocus on the future, get very motivated, you know, hone your vision on the path ahead, make your plans, have your discussions, but it's all systems go, Pisces. So beautiful reading, very, very positive. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do let me know if it has resonated. Always appreciate your likes, shares and subscribes, but sending you tons of love, and I'll see you again for the last eclipse forecast of the year in a couple of weeks.